Community land trusts are effectively community-based non-profit organisations that hold title to land. And they do that in perpetuity for two purposes: permanently affordable housing and community benefit. And it's that combination that makes them really strong, because it's not just a housing mechanism, it's something that is flexible and responsive to its communities, because it's there to deliver community benefit over time. So it will work out what needs to happen in its local area and what needs are best served and how to best meet those needs. Now, unfortunately, I've got a list of numbers here because numbers are great. People love numbers. So I'm going to read you a few just to make sure you're awake and you're with me here. Unfortunately, the last numbers we've got for Sydney from the 2006 ABS, the census, but what we had at that time was that 90% of very low income households were in housing stress. And that's where you're paying more than 30% of your gross income on your housing costs. So we had 90% of our very low income households in stress. We had 60% of our low income households. We had 35% of our moderate income households. And that was before the global financial crisis. And that was before the real kick in property prices that we've seen over the past 5 years. So you can imagine what's happening to those numbers now. And what it translates into now is that in Sydney, our median house price is pushing $600,000. Our median income is around $60,000. To buy in Sydney now, you need $100,000 a year as a household. So we all know this is an issue. It's the burning topic in conversation. People are fed up with not being able to secure housing in the areas where they work, where they've grown up, where their communities are. And so this is what this model's about, is getting another model onto the market that can supplement the work that's being done by our community housing providers, by our cooperative housing providers, and coming in at another level in the market, at an entry level, so that there are actually more steps along the way. People can move out from the low income rentals into moderate income rentals, into moderate income home ownership, and then go out into the open market. People can move up and down those tenure forms, they can move backwards and forwards, and that stock of housing that community land trusts provide is going to be affordable in perpetuity. It's there for you, it's there for your kids, you can sell it, you can bequeath it, but it's never going to go to the open market, and it's going to be there to serve that community on an ongoing basis. The other key characteristic of the trusts has been their board structure. Each trust has a three-part board structure, and this is pivotal. You have 1/3 come from your residents who are living in trust homes, 1/3 comes from your broader membership, which can be anywhere in the area the trust serves, and then 1/3 comes from representatives of the public at large. And that has been absolutely crucial, because if you think about the interactions between low to moderate income households and their surrounding communities, you can get NIMBYism. Your residents might decide to flip all the properties and move to the Bahamas. So you've got this balancing of interests on the board. You've got the state there, or the local government, or banks, but no one can push each other around. And the parties that traditionally may have been in opposition have to come together to work out how to steward this land in perpetuity for the purpose of permanently affordable housing and community benefit. So it's an incredibly strong model, and we are in an absolutely blessed position where we can piggyback on the years of trial and error in the states. They've made every conceivable mistake possible. They've really refined the model. It's been screamingly successful through the foreclosure crisis. Their foreclosures have been 1/6 of the open market, and that's for people on modest incomes. So we can piggyback on that. We can point to the growing sector in the United Kingdom and just say, this is it, it's time to go, and get ourselves set up and start going.